To the Arsenal, 1-0. To the Arsenal. All right. Let me. There we go. One. That was my hair. Right here. Welcome everybody to Thursday. No, it's not Thursday night. It's Wednesday night. It is the New Year's Eve podcast, and we've got Alonso and Adam up top.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hello.
And we got three at the back here. Anthony's Kieran Tierney.
Yahoo! I'll take that.
Who do you want to be, Gary? Gabrielle or David Luiz?
Whoa. Whoa! What? How do you go from Gabrielle to Louise?
You can be one of the center backs.
I know.
That makes
why can't I be?
Why can't I be fashion boy? It makes me fashion boy. I don't want to be him.
No, it's a back three, Sam. So you can be Rob Holding.
I can be Holding then. That's okay. He's all right.
Yeah.
Gary's a ringer for David Luiz, in fairness.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys, I thought you guys would like me. What is this? What's going on here? Why are you having a bad day? My college team's getting destroyed.
Gary's normally our resident Ian Wright lookalike, isn't he? He's normally.
Yeah. So who do I get to? Wow. So who's that today in this day and age? Who's the closest?
I have to get you up top. Alonso's our center forward. Then footballer Brownie is.
Alonso looks a lot like Aubameyang.
You don't want to be where Adam is right now because he's either Pepe or Willian.
Well, you don't know much about Arsenal, so you probably don't know who those guys are, so it's okay.
All right. So listen, special shout out to Sam and Anthony and also Adam as well. They're in different time zones, so they're burning the midnight oil right now.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Monster.
Yeah, sponsored by Monster. Listen, let's get it started. Gary, you want to kick us off? 1-0 win again to the Arsenal, but it wasn't one of those 1-0s. It wasn't of 1-0s of old, right?
No, I don't think so. It wasn't as if we were stopping them from doing much. We got lucky, I think. We did. We got the 1-0 win, but that first half, that was not good. Not good. I think we knew we were going to bring. I assumed Aubameyang was going to come back. So to see what happens, and I guess we found out. What's it like to have Aubameyang out there with the youngsters? It took a while for them to figure out what to do there. But yeah, I'll take the 1-0 win. But I looked at the stats at like halftime, and I think we had one shot total. Period. Nothing on on target. So whatever we were doing on the offensive side wasn't working. A lot of things. I looked at that. I went over the game again today, and it looks like a lot of it was just I don't know, things that happened in the second half. I don't think we did anything different except for for at least for those first 20 minutes. Whatever he said to them, they kind of got. I think they spent more time. They looked at things a little bit more detailed, a little bit more. They were kind of a little lax in that first half. In the second half, they were a little bit more attentive to what was going on, and that's the difference in the two halves. So I'll take the 1-0 win, and but yeah, I think when you saw Lacazette coming, you saw different things, and I think there's maybe something to be said about that as well. So I'll go through that, I guess, later on. But yeah, I'll take the 1-0 win. I don't know if it was I don't think it was our defense, because our defense struggled as well. So I think we were lucky that they decided not to play a forward-thinking game with the two. I guess they had all their attackers basically on the bench, so we got lucky there. But,
Alonso, they put a weak side out, so and we had only one change from the last game. Aubameyang coming in from Lacazette.
Yeah, when I saw the lineup, I thought that we had a stronger side by a little bit. The first half we kind of looked stagnant. We lost it was kind of their play most of the game, and I think that it took a while for them to get going. Especially when we have Aubameyang who hasn't scored that many goals for us, kind of leaves them in a certain kind of subject too. And I think they put on a weaker side, knowing that we won't have Aubameyang who's scoring a lot of goals lately. So, I think that they played to their advantage, thinking that it'd be a defensive game.
Yeah. Sam, I'll go to you next because we've had that discussion about Aubameyang through the middle. He had his chance, and to me, we'll get into it in the second half as well. He's getting close. He's getting closer, but he hasn't. What? It's hard to put your finger on what's going on with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang right now, Sam.
I think you could put Aubameyang in Bayern Munich now, and he still couldn't score a goal because he just the guy's just completely off form. The guy's completely mentally not there. I don't know what's going on with the guy. There could be some off the field issues, private issues. I don't know, some issues with Arteta. I don't know. No one's letting any of that information out at the moment. But I don't think you can play him out left or in the middle or anywhere. To be honest, the only place he needs to be at the moment is on the bench, and bring him on as an impact sub for me. You can bring him on as a late impact sub, last 20 minutes, something like that. Inject some maybe something different in the last 20 minutes, maybe. I think that's all we can get out of him at the moment because he's just not there. So playing him in the middle or the left is not going to matter. We're not getting anything out of him. He's just missing everything he gets, and you could just see in his body language. It's like he doesn't even want to be there.
Yeah, Anthony, I put out a tweet I think earlier that Lacazette has been playing with the young players, who's forming 3 of the 4 slots up front. Martinelli, they played in the Europa League. They have that understanding with Lacazette, and I think Aubameyang is suffering really because they don't have that understanding yet.
Yeah, I presume the only reason Lacazette was on the bench, maybe just because the game came in such quick succession, Sunday to Tuesday, maybe Arteta just said, he obviously had planned to bring him on later on in the game, said we give Aubameyang the run out, we let Lacazette have a bit of a breather, but yeah, it didn't quite work out for Aubameyang, and like Sam was saying, he's not there. It's like he's taking a portion of that new big contract and he's hired himself a stunt double while he's off on holiday or something, because it's just not the same guy. He's taking these chances that last season Aubameyang, you wouldn't even think twice. You put his house your house on him to score
with his eyes closed.
We need him to rediscover a bit of form, and look, maybe sitting out a couple of games might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, Adam, what did you see about Aubameyang's game?
As the transition is going on now, more youngsters are coming into the game. I seen that. I seen a good comment either last night or maybe the night before on a podcast, and it absolutely spot on. I don't know if it was Tony, Gary actually done it, but it's kind of something like, in all fairness, Lacazette, he brings, he's molding his game to the youngsters.
Yeah.
Whereas Aubameyang wants the youngsters to mold their game around him.
Yeah,
he's a very selfish player.
Yeah, so Lacazette wants to work with the youngsters, and Aubameyang, of course, wants the youngsters to work for him, and that seems to be the difference.
And I thought that was absolutely bang on. I didn't watch all the game because I was watching another game going on, so I was flicking back and forth. But what I have found, not just with the Arsenal game, seems to be, because there's so many games now in a short space of time. It seems to be quite an in thing now for teams to pull back maybe for up to 45 minutes, the first 45 minutes of games at the moment, and then go at them then the second half, or in in West Ham's case, leave it for the first 75 minutes, and if it's still 0-0, then last quarter go for it. It seems to be because there's so many games in a small space of time that teams are kind of like picking and choosing at what part of games they really want to go for it. I'm not too sure whether the other guys would agree on that. And what's Sam on about now?
No, definitely there's going to be like injuries, and the season was already compressed so greatly that you're getting impact injuries now. We still have 3 subs. That's not going to change because some of the teams want to keep the perceived level ground. You know, the likes of Sean Dyche and all of that. You know, but Gary, where do? And I think there's got to be some rotation. We're going to talk about probably the West Brom game as well with Big Sam, but there has to be some rotation now. There's been 3 days between the Chelsea game and the Brighton game, and we won both of them. There's going to be some tired legs for Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, off the top of my head, I assume that Martinelli and Millsworth Rowe probably won't start in the next game. I mean, definitely. I mean, I think Saka as well. I think if Martinelli and Millsworth Rowe weren't playing, I think we probably would be looking at Saka as like a player that definitely needs to rest. But I think all 3 of them probably need to sit out, at least sit out the next one, because we don't want to burn them out, and they are definitely more the future than they are the present right now. We've got 6 points out of 9 possible in this run. I think if you'd have said that, a week ago, we'd probably been happy with that. Now, if we can get the 9, I think we'll take it. But those players need to be around for a lot longer. And we've seen Saka go down, at least I think in the last couple of games, right? At some point, those are going to come back and wear him down. So he probably needs to get the rest. Partey, hopefully, if Partey doesn't come back this weekend, hopefully it's the next one. And if that's the case, I'd rather have some of those fit youngsters to be around when he's coming back, as opposed to something crazy happen in the next game and we don't see them together, because that would slow down the progress that we've made. I think we've seen. I mean, we saw Liverpool kind of struggle today. More from the fact of just these games that are coming fast, and they are worn down as it is with depleted squad. So I think for us, we'll probably have to rest those guys. Maybe give the Willocks and Nelsons, if they're healthy, a chance to shine as well, because I think they would probably bring more the style that Arteta's looking for. What are you doing to me? Come on, Ray. You don't have to punch me like that.
I'm the controller.
I know Tony's happy and all, but man, that is just not a nice score. But yeah.
Oh yeah, your team is down 17 points to Tony's team. So
yes. Yeah, at least that's my college team. I don't know if that's his college team, but yeah. So it's bowl week, bowl night over here in the States. But yeah, like I said, I think we should see a lot. That front line should look totally different. I like to see the Nelsons and Wilkes get out there and get a chance to see. They've seen what it looks like now. Maybe they can do the same. And then in worst case scenario, you bring those youngsters in for some 30, 40 minutes to at least get their get a little chance out there, so they don't lose any form that they've had. But yeah. They probably need, if they can rest the whole game, that would be nice. And if Leeds showed anything, is that they will give up the goals if you take your time and you're clinical with what you do out there. So
yeah, Let's dovetail back to the Brighton game. Sam, I'll go with you next. I want to get through some comments and shout out everybody. For the wife's in the house, Jill, thanks for joining us. Urban Ghost as well. Gary's here. We know Gary's here. Tony Turner. Tony, it's good to see you.
Is it Gary or is it David Luiz?
I understand you are
You guys don't like me. I don't understand.
recuperating well. The assembles. So shout out to everybody who's in the comments here. You're the ones who make
shout out to
part of the
everyone.
show as well. Urban Ghost, Melina, thanks for joining us. Good day, everyone. And Ryan, big up, Ryan. We get a lot of viewers as well from the UK as well. Hope Tony Turner's making full recovery. Tony is probably telling you all about it right now, Ryan. One more week of rehab and then he can get out. So that's good news, Tony. And we're right behind you here. Sam, if Aubameyang is the impact sub, what happens to Nketiah?
We sell him. That's what happens to him.
Small Gary, it's only a bold game. Sam, I'll throw this one to you. So my wife said, keep Emile Smith-Rowe on the side.
I mean, yeah, definitely going forwards. I think he's earned his place, and I think he can turn into a very good attacking midfielder. He's got that. He's got that. Different level to his game that we don't really have with anyone else. He's very direct. He's very technical. He makes great passes. He's got good vision. He's a star. He's a star in the making if he can stay fit and be developed correctly. He can be a really, really big player. But of course he needs to be rested as well. He's young. He can't play every game and so he'll probably need to maybe sit the next one out, maybe on the bench, maybe against West Brom. We'll see, because the games are coming thick and fast now. So we don't want Smith Rowes and the Sakas and these lads to get injuries. And I mean, Saka's already injured. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. I don't know the extent of his injury, but we don't want the same happening to Smith Rowe and these other kids. We've got to just be careful with them and not play them every single game. But yeah, going forward, definitely Smith Rowe is, like I said, we called for him for a long time ago. I said we don't need an Ozil. We've got Smith Rowe. Let's use him, and I want him to be a part of our first team going forwards. And if we bring in another big name attacking midfielder,
gotcha.
If we bring in another big name attacking midfielder, I want that to work in line with Smith Rowe, where they can maybe rotate and Smith Rowe gets maybe less time. Maybe there can be some kind of mentor role there, with Smith Rowe, mentoring Smith Rowe. I'd love to see that as well, but I don't think we need. I would love to see Smith Rowe stay. I don't want him to go.
No, he has shown a lot of ability on the ball, and he's going to help us moving forward. And I think Arteta has saved the young legs in a way throughout this schedule, this fixture list, that he's taken them off after 75 minutes. I'm going to go around the house and ask this question. I'll start with you, Sam. Tony said 5 wins is a must with the congested schedule now. So do you think we can add on 3 more wins, 2 more wins, or 1 more win, Sam? And we've got West Brom away. We got Newcastle at home and Crystal Palace at home. Can we add 3 more?
We can. We definitely can. It depends. It just depends on what Arteta does. That's what it depends on, and the form of our players. If they find a bit more form now, the guys who are going to be coming in, right? Because this is the big worry now. The guys coming in, what kind of form are they going to be in? Are they going to be in better form now that they've rested? Are they going to be more, geared up for it, ready to go? Or are they going to come in and be crap as they were before they got substituted? Right.
Yeah, Mark Darby, new face around here. I'd love to see it. Emile Smith-Rowe has very similar aspects to a young Kevin De Bruyne. I keep him in the team. I've actually been struck that he's a very he looks a lot like a Jack Grealish. And again, I put another tweet out. 18 months from now, he could be the finished article. Why would we want to spend 80 million on Jack Grealish if 18 months from now we could have one already on our books? Alonso, how many more wins can we get?
I say I say 2 because
Out
the
of
game
those three.
I say 2 wins because the game against Crystal Palace is always a hard fixture for us.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it always is. So I think the best case scenario we get 2 wins and the win or 3 wins, but I say 2 wins and a draw because Crystal Palace always scares me.
And of course, we're going to talk about what's going on in the Premier League. There's seismic things happening, and we are only 13 points off of first place. So it's not out of the question that Arsenal could slide in there, Gary.
You said
Gary,
13.
how many more wins should we get, Gary, out of these three?
We can get all of them, right? I mean, we can. I mean, I just feel like what it depends on those players that we bring in because we can't go with who we've seen the last 2 games. So I expect those players to come out a little bit more with a sense of urgency in terms of do you want to be part of this team or not? So if they come with what we expect to hopefully be a better performance than we've seen in the past, then we can win. We can win the next one and maybe get all the 9 points that we won in the next 3. I'm looking at it more from kind of how I feel about the players that we could lose the next one more because I don't think we'll have our starters in there to start. But then I think if we're able to bring back Partey, he'll probably play those 2 games, and that will solidify things for us if he's coming back that fast. So that's kind of what I'm looking for there. I know there's a lot of history with that, but I think we've had what's it say? Yeah, I mean, I think they stung themselves, and hopefully they have only stung themselves twice. I'm sorry, once this year with the Willian contract, and not with the Aubameyang one as well. So that would be double trouble
I'm
for us.
not. Yeah. I'm
But
not
yeah,
a Diego Costa either.
yeah, Diego Costa. I mean, as I said, I think that's more somebody trolling us because we're just so easy to we'll take the bait on that one and go a little crazy on it. There's no way if he can't control Guendouzi, there is no way he'll be able to even to say hi to Diego Costa without like shriveling up and and then cowering because I think that they're in the same class. If he thinks Guendouzi's bad, I think Diego is probably close to him like that. So. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. But yeah, I mean, if we, like I said, we've already got the 6 points that I think we thought we were going to get at this point. So anything we get more above that in the next game is gravy. But I think we should be able to, get something out of those next 2 games. If not, see it, get one in the next week as well. So
yeah, I think, Gary, if we beat West Brom on Saturday, it's going to bring us up one more place. I was kind of estimating what the other teams are going to do. I don't think Leeds are going to win, and yeah, that'll bring us up to 12th. So we have to string some more wins together. Anthony, how many? We got West Brom away. It'll be a tough one without Big Sam. I'd like to turn the tables on him. He used to do us a lot at Bolton Wanderers.
Oh yeah, that was. I remember that.
Why is everyone so scared of Big Sam? He's been shit since he started. He just lost 5-0 for fuck's sake. I mean, Jesus Christ. They look at him like he's Voldemort or something. He's not going to do anything.
As Anthony Fosen.
Yeah, that means the baton's been passed on to you.
Well, to be honest, I agree
Voldemort.
with Sam. Once in my life, I actually agree with Sam. I don't.
It happens twice a month, I think.
West Brom have conceded 9 in the last 3 games, and it doesn't look. They've had a point against Liverpool, which at first everybody thought was a good point, but now Liverpool seem to be drawing with everybody. Was it such a good point? I'm beginning to doubt that now.
In the cold light of day and what Liverpool have done today, in not getting a win, that makes it look more like Liverpool's issues than West Brom's.
The problem is, and it's it's quite similar to Cardiff, where Cardiff board could be at it. Now I know I'm linking it to Cardiff for a minute, but
Cardiff
Isn't he
City
George-
fan here.
Oh,
Is George Graham coming soon?
he's only doing that. You know what?
No,
He's doing that. He's only doing that because
it's quite
he's an Arsenal
evident.
fan.
It's slightly
You know?
reverse. Slaven Bilic is known as
I'll give him 2 minutes, Gary.
is a manager of a passing a managerial style of a passing style and attacking style. So that's what the West Brom players have been set up to do. And then all of a sudden they get in a guy who has a completely different managerial style and playing style. And I don't think the West Brom players are suiting his style. He must have been promised a massive war chest in January, because there's no other way he's going to turn West Brom around. I can see Arsenal putting 3 or 4 on West Brom. And it wouldn't be, it wouldn't surprise me.
Show of hands, does anyone think we'll score 3 goals against West Brom?
Yeah.
Alonso.
Think we can.
Two.
But yeah.
But
also as well, right?
I think we'll score 2, and I think we'll win 2-0.
No, I think you put 3 or 4 easily.
Alonso, yeah.
I think that this is gonna be funny, but I think somehow Kieran Gibbs come off the bench and scored more West Brom.
You know, I hope we broke that. I hope we broke that jinx and we don't see it anymore. Yeah.
I want to see former Arsenal players scoring own goals for us. You know what I mean?
That'd be the total switch, right? That'd be nice.
Did anyone notice? Anyone knows what Anthony did there? He wanted to play. He wanted to be Kieran Tierney tonight. So he jumped out and got himself back in at the left back there.
I wasn't happy being David Luiz.
I
wasn't having.
Are them games? Isn't it the FA Cup coming up? Is one of those games in the FA Cup?
Right after West Brom.
We have Newcastle twice this month.
Oh, right, okay. If I was Arteta, I would basically forfeit the FA Cup this year. You got the UEFA Cup in which you can test yourself.
Don't forfeit the FA Cup.
I would.
We're defending that trophy. We're defending that trophy. I'm not in favor of doing that.
I really would, because you don't want to stretch yourself so thin with injuries and so on.
We'll see what happens. Anthony.
Yep.
West Brom, Crystal Palace, Newcastle. How many more wins are we getting out of those 3?
Yeah, look, I think most of us were probably overlooking the Chelsea game and kind of saying, we're going to start from Brighton. So to be coming into those games with 2 wins, apart from we were looking at maybe 1, I don't see why we can't win all 3 of them, especially given the form West Brom are on. We've seen them get absolutely destroyed by Leeds the other night. I know Leeds are probably a better attacking side at the moment than we are. I still fancy if we're to rest a couple of players, we can still grind out a result, even if it's only 1 or 2 goals. And then, like that, we've got the FA Cup. Gives us a little bit more time. If Saka does need a little bit longer, if you want to rest Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Thomas Partey, we might have, a full squad. Even Aubameyang might get a bit of an extra rest that he might need. So, you've got the FA Cup game, then you could hopefully have a fully fit squad playing Crystal Palace, which could make the difference for us. And then like that, I fancy us against Newcastle anyway, So I don't see why we can't. And like I said, if we're capable of beating Chelsea, we've set the standard now, so we should be beating these teams.
Yeah, exactly. We have set the standard. Tony, I don't know where Stephen is. Hopefully he joins us in here a little bit. James Fernandez, we've been looking for you since the North London Derby when you were going to join us. Finally got my Wi-Fi back after nearly a month. Hope all your families and yourselves safe and well. You had a blessed Christmas. Good to be back. Definitely. Good to see you. Mark, I think we will sneak the points of West Brom, beat Palace, but Southampton away worries me.
Look, we'll hopefully be a different
good,
team
really
that
good.
plays than the last time. Next time we played them, hopefully we'll be a hell of a lot more confident than the first time we played.
Yeah. Okay,
well, I watched that Southampton game against West Ham yesterday, and if I'm honest with you, West Ham should have taken all 3 points. Southampton didn't play well at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, the points to win the title are going to be in the 70s. The points to get into the top 4 could be low 60s, could be even in the 50s. It's just a crazy, crazy league right now. Everybody is beating everybody. Liverpool, they are stressed out big time now because they got Manchester United who are coming like a steam train at them, and who knows what's going to happen. And I jest a little bit. We're 13 points off of first place, but we string 2 or 3 wins, and we're.
Oh, come on now, Ray! Come on now, Ray!
I'm not saying we're going to win the league.
Remember, as a football fan, it's a hope that kills you.
Hey, look, if we were relegation candidates, I can't see why we're not title candidates. You know what I mean?
It'll be something to go from relegation candidates to title candidates.
Do you know what? Maybe it's not Munster in this. Maybe it's something stronger.
Maybe.
Bushmills.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the Brighton game. Alonso was really, really good to see a similar lineup now. Aubameyang coming in for Lacazette being the only change. And, we'll talk about how that didn't work and how Arteta pulled off a master stroke in bringing Lacazette on. But what do you think of the lineup? For me, it was heartening because Arteta's finally starting to understand that he needs to play some of these young players in the team.
Yeah, and I think that it's very sharp that he started Martinelli too, and we've been crying out for him ever since before he got hurt last year. It was just a shame how talented this kid could be when the ball on his feet. He does everything well and everything you want him to do, and it kind of sucks that he got hurt when he did because he was on his way. And this year, he's one of the same thing. Reason why we need him. And fair play to him, he's come back stronger now. Now the lineup, it's good that we have a constant lineup, but missing putting Aubameyang ahead of Lacazette was kind of weird. Anyway, so I think that it's fair play to him, and hopefully he keeps it up because even though we don't like Xhaka, it's always. It'll be good. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him and Partey together, or at least for a consistent lineup. And I think that with Holding and Murray, they have something going, which is good because we haven't had a consecutive partnership in a while. So we'll see what happens. It looks promising.
Yeah, we got to talk about Murray as well. Sam, the balance in the front players looked really, really good because Saka is now on the right-hand side, and he gives a lot of balance to that side. Even with Hector Bellerin in there, he's doing something there for the team. He's such a good player. And you have Martinelli on the left. Now, Martinelli combines really well with Lacazette. Now there's a question mark as to if he's going to be able to combine with Aubameyang, how that's going to work in the front positions. But from a balance point of view, I'm really liking what Arteta's starting to do with his team selections in the last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean it's a much more balanced front three. Saka's so versatile; he can play so many positions. And he's that good. He's got that skill set. He can deliver really from several positions. And playing out right, he's looking quite comfortable there too. He gives us a hell of a lot more than Willian and Pepe, that's for sure. And that's what we needed. People who can deliver. And works well with Lacazette. Works well with Martinelli, Smith Rowe in behind there. They work very well together. Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka. They have some good combinations. And this is what we was waiting for, right? We said this is what Arteta needed to do was to change the players, bring in the youngsters because they can play together. These kids, you know, Saka and Martinelli. No, sorry, not Saka and Martinelli. I mean Saka and Smith Rowe. You know, they've been playing together for a long, long time. You know, so these guys have that chemistry. You know, and this is what Arteta needs to use more of, not be scared to use it. But this is what we need to see going forwards if this continues. I mean, I know Martinelli was out with injury. I think he was always intended to bring him back in when he was fit. But yeah, I mean, it gives us much more balance, and we look so much more better with this combination of players, and that's what it was about. It was about finding the right combination of players, and also using the right tactics. Unfortunately, I think that's where Arteta's still lacking now, is with the tactics. I think we saw from the first half really we regress back to using tactics that doesn't suit, you know, what we should be doing. Far too negative, far too, you know, sitting deep and everything, and players far from each other and everything. And that changed in the second half, of course, thankfully. But yeah, so we just need Arteta to utilise these players better as well going forwards. You know, got to play with the right tactics on the front foot, and you know, give them some more attacking freedom. You know, that's what we need. You can't sit so deep as we did in the first half. And there were things. I think things will brighten up. Hopefully, these are the things Arteta needs to show. For me, Arteta's not out of the woods from these two games, because he needs to show that with, you know, the likes of Willian fit, you know, and what he's going to do, you know, with the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette, and also the tactics. You know, when he's using Smith Rowe, he's using Saka, he's using Martinelli in that front three. We need to see that the tactics suit them. We don't sit so deep. He has to change that as well, because that first half against Brighton, as I said, was terrible. I mean, if we would have continued like that in the second half, we would not have got a win. So, you know, he needs to show again that he's adapting without being forced to adapt. That's what I want to see. I want to see the changes come now without him being pressured into doing it. That's
and I wonder what the halftime team talk would have been like. You know what I mean? Gary, as Lombard Camp said here, Arteta's got a serious problem benching informed strikers. I would say just singular there. We only have one informed striker. It's a joke at this point. But, you know, to defend Arteta a little bit, don't you have to rest and rotate a little bit in this festive period? And he's trying to also ignite Aubameyang again.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that based on what I've seen so far this year and even in the last game. So I feel like that's going to be a challenge for him. But he definitely needs to make sure the team understands what he wants out of them every time they get out there. I feel like they don't know that, because what should have changed between the last two games and the Brighton game. I know they, you know, kind of set back a little bit based on their structure, but he's got to have an answer for those types of things, because they're going to happen time and time again with the youngsters. So yeah, he's seen it too many times now for it to be a surprise that teams are going to come at us like that, where, you know, they know that we could dominate them and they're going to sit back, and he's got no answer. I mean, like I said, I think one of the things that I did notice in that second half is that our hold-up play was a lot better. I mean, if you look at the goal that we scored, Saka holds that ball up with a defender right on top of him, spins off of him, takes it down the side, and passes it back to Lacazette. Now, I don't know if Aubameyang was playing in the middle, if he would have caught up to him and been in that position. But that's what I saw there on that play. Whereas in the first half, Saka's touch was a little bit off. I mean, a lot of those balls coming into him were you know, he could never control them, and they would just bounce away from him, and then we would lose any kind of, you know, attack after that. So I'm not picking on Saka, but I'm just saying that's one of the things I noticed, and I think as a whole, our hold-up play just wasn't good in that first half. We needed it to be pretty crisp, because they were stepped back so far that any time we had the ball, there was somebody coming at us as soon as we got it, and if we didn't have a good hold-up play there, then they would just take it away from us, and that's what's basically happened there.
And Gary, that's the big difference between the two strikers. Lacazette is able to hold the ball up, is able to bring other players in. You need to play a little bit differently when it comes to Aubameyang. It's a little bit more counter-attacking, fast, quick. He's more of a finisher. He's going to get on the end of things.
And you know what? And he had opportunities, right? I mean, he had a couple of opportunities in this game to put his mark in and actually, open open up the bank again. I mean, he had the one off on the left hand side where he got a pass from, I think it was Saka or Emil Smith-Rowe. I think it was Emil Smith-Rowe. Set him out on the left. It was just him. And if he had kept going forward, it would have just been the goalie on the far side. He kind of pulled up, for what reason I'm not sure, and then took a shot which went far right off the side of the far right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then in the second half, he had that one opportunity. Was that the goalie? Is there Aubameyang from last year? Is he
for me,
in?
the goalkeeper's got a 20% chance of saving that. For me, if the striker, it's just one of those things. I think.
But it's been the 20% every time. I mean, you're saying 20% for that one, but we've seen the similar opportunities for Aubameyang where he's got one on with the goalie and the same thing, right? So it can't be every time it's 20%. At some point, as I tell you all the time, at some point players have to make that play, right?
Yes. Yeah,
right?
You're right.
They have to make that play. Lacazette made that play, right? Came in 40 seconds into his
20 seconds.
21 seconds, I think it was the other number I heard. And he puts the ball, that same Lacazette couldn't hit anything in the Liverpool game. And I think he had better chances in that game than he did in this one, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, at some point the luck's going to turn our way sometimes,
that's the difference between a player in form. It's full of confidence and a player who's not. You see it there in the microcosm, Anthony, between Aubameyang. As Gary said it perfectly, he had a chance like the Fulham game where he scored that goal, the Liverpool Charity Community Shield, and then he had that straight on at the goalkeeper chance. But Lacazette, I think Lacazette is also better in those positions where he doesn't have to think too much. He goes on his pure ability, instinct, and he put it away.
Yeah, you could see the difference in sort of who's the in form and who's the off form. Obama, one of those chances he missed, that was his trademark move. He cut inside on his right foot, normally curls it in just inside the post. He scooped this one high and wide, whereas Lacazette, as Gary said a couple of weeks ago, the chance he got, he probably would have taken it first time, put it out of the stadium, or he would have got caught up in his feet. But the difference is, he had the confidence. He was aware that he had time. He took the touch. He had 1, 2 back in the net. Whereas, as I said a couple of weeks ago, he would have probably just snatched at that chance, and he probably would have ended up on his arse. So it does show the thinking is different when a guy is sort of not under the same pressure. He's more confident. He's willing to give himself the extra little bit of time with the ball. He's willing to give himself the extra touch. He doesn't feel, I've got to hit this now. So you could definitely see the difference between the pair.
And you look, Anthony, at Lacazette's last 3 goals. The first one was in the Carabao Cup where he looked almost shocked and surprised he scored.
Yeah.
The second one is a penalty, coolly taken. But now he's fully confident and up and running. And hopefully Aubameyang can be like that way in a couple of games from now as well.
Yeah, well, look, that's what it takes, like that with Lacazette. It was a slow process to kind of find his feet again. Sometimes you need a bit of luck to get the first goal or two. Once you get yourself back on the score sheet, then it'll settle you down a bit. Unfortunately, Aubameyang got himself back on the score sheet, the wrong end of the pitch. So I don't know whether that's still playing on his mind, but he's going through just a bad phase at the minute. I wouldn't write him off just yet. I've seen crazy talk of people saying, get rid of him in January and all this. Look,
not just yet.
He's too valuable. Like, again, like people are saying, yeah, he switched off now. He's got the new contract. He doesn't care anymore. Like, I don't believe that for a second. Like, there's still a player there. You can't be world class 6 months ago and just all of a sudden, you're trash. It's time to get rid of it.
I think some part of it's got to be his thigh injury. Something's got to be hobbling him a little bit.
Like a combination. There's the injury. We don't know the extent of the injury because we've seen that Arteta has been willing to maybe throw guys in a little bit too soon, like Partey, when he's under a little bit of pressure. You know, Aubameyang, it could be more serious than we know. And as well, struggling for confidence, struggling for form. Like, the whole team has been struggling, and it's obviously playing off of him. And it could be down to maybe he's starting to feel the pressure of, you know, wearing the armband as well. Maybe he's feeling like it's all resting on his shoulders.
Yeah, like I said, you're right, Ray Anderson. He did use Lewis Dunk to curl the ball around for that goal. So a wonderful bit of play. Lacazette's gotten us 3 points. Adam, going to come to you next about Mark Darby here. He's got a great comment here. Holding was looking better with a run of games, and Pablo Mari has been a fantastic reader of the game. That's probably second and third choice central defenders at the club right now.
Yeah, well, in all fairness, Holding has been written off by so many Arsenal fans in recent years. But every manager seems to, still fancy him a little bit.
Sounds like Xhaka. Sounds like we're talking about Granit
Xhaka. In the squad, you know, even as backup or so on. But going back, Ray, to the striker debate we just had.
Because you want the strikers are sexier, right? You want to talk about strikers.
No, I want to talk about who would become available and linked to who's become available on a free transfer.
Oh, here we go.
To Arsenal, who I have been calling for Arsenal to be getting at him for the last 6 months.
It makes no sense.
Because he can finally head the ball, in which either Lacazette or Aubameyang can't. And he's got real nasty, horrible attitude on the pitch.
That's what we need, more red cards. That's what we need. Yep.
No, but he would be ideal. He would be absolutely ideal for Arsenal.
Diego Costa.
He's fat and slow and shit.
For Arsenal. And I'm telling you now.
Is that what you want out of your soccer players?
Last week, I would have said
he scored 12 goals in 62 games for Atletico in his latest contract with them.
Yeah,
12 goals.
Hang on, Sam. There's a couple of things. There's a thigh injury, and there's
62 games
thrombosis with his COVID-19.
He played 62 games.
This guy
and scored 12 goals.
Right.
Whoever gets Diego Costa is going to have a diamond because he is hungry to play. He's hungry to play.
You don't like Aubameyang because he's old and slow, but you want Diego Costa who's older and slower.
He's willing to sacrifice 6 months of his contract with Atletico Madrid to go and get games. And I'm telling you now, it may only be for 12 months. It may be for 18 months.
So we can throw loads of money at him. That's fine. Okay.
Will get a hungry player, and it will really
help
him out.
So we can throw loads of money at Diego Costa, who's older, slower, fatter, and shitter than Aubameyang. That makes a lot of sense.
Sorry, why can't Aubameyang is now contracted to you guys? Well, why not get rid? In my opinion. And it's only and it's
just yours, no one else's. I can tell you that.
No, hang on.
I
think, and it's been widely rumored, but I think he feels he's been let down by the board because of broken promises since after he signed the contract. That's my opinion.
There's Rule. Rule has said it, and I trust and I believe in Rule.
He's injury prone. He's slow. He's scored 12 goals in 62 games, and he's nasty.
No Arsenal striker can head the ball.
But we don't have to play for headers. We're playing lower crosses now.
He'd be offside with VAR in his Zimmer frame. He'd be offside too often.
Lumberg Camp said he's a bad man, might kick some of the players up the arse.
Exactly.
He could be a coach. He is a bad man. He may be some degree of an option B. Anthony, what do you think? Maybe.
Look,
But it seems crazy to me to throw more money at an older player.
Yeah, like it would have to be a really sweet deal for us.
Costa coffee. Yes, Mark. Exactly. You make such a good point.
I think the only way we could take him is if one, it was on something like a pay-as-you-play kind of basis, like really cheap, affordable. He's got no more than a guarantee until the end of the season. If Balogun is 100% out the door and we're not going to give him the minutes, other than that, I can't really see the logic. Like, there's got to be better options out there.
Oh yeah.
What
loads
if?
of better
What
options.
if?
Why are we wasting our time on this discussion?
Yeah, let's move
No,
on.
no,
Because Brownie's here. That's why Brownie comes in. He's got to start with his crap.
Because I mean, Diego Costa.
Because unfortunately, listen,
This is the crap you come up with.
Arsenal have a lot of options at the moment now up front, and good on them. But the main two strikers Arsenal have, Aubameyang and Lacazette, cannot head the ball.
We don't have to play for headers.
Sorry if I'm going back to
We
the year
tried that
dot,
for the last
but in
2
my
months. We
opinion,
tried
a
that.
striker needs to head the ball.
Yeah.
Gary, put some manners on him.
Yeah. I think, as I said, I think the Costa thing is no, and that's not even our problem. That's not the biggest problem we have. I'd rather not even. That's a waste of time between Lacazette, Aubameyang, and even Martinelli. If we needed to push him front center, I think we were fine right now. We need somebody who we know is going to guarantee us goals. He's not going to do that, so it's not even worth discussing. I feel. We do need
12 goals in 62 games. That's prolific. That is.
Well, hang on.
You're looking to get
Hang on.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Olivier Giroud went through a whole World Cup and didn't score a single goal.
Who gives
But
a shit?
he still helped win the French team win a World Cup because his hold-up play, his heading ability.
We've got hold-up play.
and
We've got Lacazette for hold-up play. We've got Lacazette for hold-up play.
no heading ability. It does bring.
So basically, we've got to get Diego Costa just because he can head a ball. That's what you're saying.
Lacazette can head a ball as well.
Okay,
Anthony.
What if then? Right, Nketiah.
It's over. It's
if
over.
you got rid of Nketiah, and out of that money you brought in Costa on the wages.
We're not going to bring in Costa. He's not what we want. He's 30.
No.
Was he 33 now?
Well,
Perfect age.
Going on 50.
That's the age. Let's give him a 3-year contract.
Next.
200,000 a week.
Next. Hey, Ray. Next.
Next. Next. Anthony, I want to know.
Nonsense. You're
You know
talking
Pat,
nonsense.
Anthony.
I'm telling you.
You know Pat.
No, you are.
I might have paid off a few people to come on and make a couple of comments.
Nice one.
He obviously got the envelope.
Yeah, how much did you pay? Because I'm not getting any of that. They just took the envelope and then I never saw him again. Oh.
Of course, Anthony's contracted to come on the podcast every time we win directly after that at the next podcast. So, listen, I want to wish everybody Happy New Year. Let's talk about quickly 2020 football-wise, highs and lows. Alonso, what was your highs of 2020 football-wise? Because we know, generally speaking, it's been pretty bad. And I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year here. And we just started season 3 of this channel, and we've actually won 2 games since. So, Anthony, it's not just you that's the good jinx, you know.
You're welcome.
Alonso, highs and lows.
I think, of course, my high, I want to be biased, but I think my high was an Arsenal won a pick up. Whenever we're in the position we're in the league, we finished 8th, but we beat Man City and Chelsea, the title contenders. It was pretty amazing. And, I think that Miguel Arteta probably never get enough credit for that. Maybe he will someday, but I think that was my biggest high. My biggest low, to me, was losing to Brighton. Well, the way we did was pretty pretty miserable, pretty shocking to see. So, those are my highs and lows.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Losing to Tottenham as well. We did that twice this past year, and we've been able to get it over on some of the coaches, all of the other coaches in the top six. But Mourinho's the next target that I want to get a win against. Anthony, I'll go to you next, then Adam.
Yeah, I think my high was the last week. 2 wins. No. Yeah, look, obviously the FA Cup, massive, but I can't copy Alonso. I think
No, you can, but you take certain parts over there,
Yeah,
like Lundberg said when he did turn Zuma inside out there for that move.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think the high in general was just, we were kind of on the recovery after Emery. Ljungberg wasn't exactly set up properly to do anything with us. So when Arteta first came in, just the mood change and the change of morale, and we've seen a lot of kind of bad players with falsely kind of thought they'd transformed. So at the time, like that was definitely a major high. Like actually seeing Mustafi cut out a couple of mistakes, and like that we went on and had a bit of success, got a couple of nice wins, took a trophy, or if you want to count the Community Shield as a trophy, we took 2 trophies.
You got enough hype man going on out there in the chat.
I know.
Got Mark too. What is it, €5 a line?
I can't afford that. It depends what you put into my contract.
All right, yeah. What was the low? I didn't catch that.
The low. Yeah, where do you start? There's been a few.
And a lot of them handing out records to all the other teams. Southampton.
Yeah,
Leicester.
definitely the Spurs defeat. It's still hurts.
Thing.
It's still fresh.
Yeah.
The wound is still fresh. So yeah, I'll get over it eventually.
All right, Brownie, you got 3 minutes. You don't have to use all of the 3 minutes.
No, I think I'll go for a low. As being Liverpool winning a title, I wish it was another 30 years for them to win the title. But I think the high is actually seeing fans be re-allowed back into grounds. No matter where it was, whether Highbury or any other football stadium over the years, there's been friendships which have been created in the stands of football grounds over the years, and many of those friendships are still there now for all to see. And when everyone was locked out of football grounds, it just shows how much going to football and sharing experiences with your friends and family means to so many people. And I can't wait to get back into a football ground. I hope it's going to be weeks rather than months now. For me to see all my friends again.
Yeah. Hopefully we can do that soon. Gary, for you?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, the highs I think were Martinelli and Saka, basically, because that, at least for me, showed that we had a future and a young, bright future coming once we could get the quality around them that they needed. And Martinelli making that 80-yard run and score. Saka just doing what he was doing in the Europa League and then being able to transfer that to the Premier League as well. Kind of showed us that we had a future. So I kind of that for me was a highlight because that showed us that we did have a future coming if we could find other gems like him, like them coming. And we've seen it now with a Millsworth Rowe, right? So if we can find another one, that'd be nice as well. But those were the kind of the highs for me, I think, because I don't think I was thinking we were going to win any leagues, anytime for a while. But I definitely wanted to see a better team that I could cheer behind, and they definitely allowed me to do that. So for me, those were the highs. Having Martinelli kind of go out, kind of that kind of hurt. And so, yeah, that would be kind of my highs, at least, because they gave me a future there. The lows. So I think the lows are still around because we still have bad management, above our, just below our, I guess from our owner down,
Yeah.
To our
The
manager.
hierarchy.
Our managers have been able to overcome some of the deficiencies that we have there. So those are still there, but they've been able to overcome those, and that's where we stand kind of until something good happens in those areas. So those are, I mean, everything that we look at as far as our plays, I think to some degree stems from what's going on above our management and our manager or coach. So that's kind of hurt us, and we've seen it. I mean, we've got guys come in and basically rob the team. Basically steal money from the team.
Yeah.
And we've paid for it as a fan base, right?
We're paying them as well to be if reports are true, to be a disruptive influence.
They're stealing a living as football professional footballers. They're stealing a living.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we got the guys that but they're getting robbed before the players even get the money, right? I mean, this is extra money on the top that's getting taken out. And then to find that they didn't really clean house after that. They just moved people around. So the same people that were there when the robbery was happening are still there today. So is anything going to change? No. I mean, we still think we don't have the right management structure in there, right? Talking about Overmars and all these other people coming in to help the team.
Yeah. Edu is going to have to prove himself this coming month. And, Sam, did I get to you about highs and lows yet?
No.
All right, go for it. And then we'll talk about Edu a little bit.
So, yeah, highs for me were definitely the FA Cup and the Community Shield. I just thought they were two really good games where we really showed, top teams that we can beat them and be better than them, which hasn't happened a lot this year. And so it was just great to win that, and beat such good sides in those games. It was really good. Another high has been Smith Rowe come through, doing what we thought he would be able to do. We all thought we had it in him. We all thought we could see it, and it was great for him to finally come in and show us that he does have it there. Hopefully that continues. The lows, definitely, of course, this season basically is the low, isn't it? I mean, just going from bad to worse to worse to worse. The records we're handing out, and the real low for me was losing against Burnley, because Burnley were in relegation zone, and we're supposed to be close to relegation zone, and we're supposed to be ahead of them, winning, and when we lose, that was just the absolute bottom of the bottom, and I'm surprised. Well, not surprised because we know how the owners are thinking. They're backing Arteta, but I mean, wow, he really has gone on thin ice, hasn't he, this season, Arteta? So he needs to improve.
He got very close, probably, to the trapdoor. If we've gone through another 2 or 3 of these games, it would have been bad. Sam, rumors today, more transfer rumors. Ones that we want to talk about, not Diego Costa coffee. Or I think Isco, he can go to Everton as well. I saw your video earlier, Brownie. So check out Football with Brownie on YouTube. Yeah. Give him a subscription. He's trying to get to 300 by New Year.
Yeah, 300 by tomorrow. I'm 14 short, I think. At 14 short.
Yeah.
After tonight's show, I'll probably be 20 short, but never mind. We'll take it from there.
Sam, Kolasinac may be loaned out as well.
Yeah, so that's all. I mean, it's better than just having him, in our club doing nothing, right? Just getting paid for nothing, and every time we bring him in is a calamity. So I'd rather just loan him out for the rest of the season, so we don't have him anymore. That makes sense to me, and it looks like I was also reading that Socrates is close to Fenerbahce as well in Turkey. I think that's a permanent deal, though. I don't think that's a loan. I think that is an actual permanent deal. So yeah, I think the things are moving now behind the scenes. I think Edu and Vinay and the team are really working hard on pushing some of these guys out the door now who need to go. and I really hope that they manage to do that, because that's the key to opening up a lot of doors for us on incoming transfers. Because I do think we need to get rid of a lot of these players first before we can bring in some of the players we want to bring in. And but January is always hard, you know. It's going to be difficult to see. I mean, it's going to be difficult to bring in some of the players you want to bring in January, I think. But we will see. And they definitely, I agree with you completely, Ray. Edu and Vino, they really need to step up now and do their job, because this is their job now, the transfer window. They need to step up and show everyone that they're, you know, as good as they think they are. You know, this is so now they need to do their job and get some of the players out the door and bring in one or two good players.
So, Sam, what would represent a decent window in terms of outgoings, taking into account COVID?
Well, it's difficult. As you know, it's difficult. It's very difficult to gauge the market, isn't it? Because some teams are being very conservative, holding back on their money, not really going to spend at all, and other teams are a bit more open, willing to do that. So it's a difficult market to gauge. But you know, if you work hard enough and you work with the right people, I think you can get things done. And there was I was looking at I was looking at the entire squad the other day, and I think I came to like 13 names that we can realistically get out the door. I mean, that we not realistically get out the door now, that we need to get out the door, rebuild the squad. 13 names, but there's only a few I think realistically going to happen now in January. I think Kolasinac could happen. I think Socrates could happen. I think we could maybe get rid of Mustafi as well if someone can come in for him and offer something half decent. There's I think 2 or 3 names we can get out the door at least. And then when it comes to incoming transfers, it depends who it is. You know, if it's someone involved in the Champions League, they're probably not gonna want to give up, playing in the Champions League. It's gonna probably have to happen in the summer. So we'll see who it is, but realistically, we need to bring in at least 1 player or 2. We need to bolster our chances of improving for the rest of the season. So we need to bring in at least 1 or 2.
Yeah. Anyone else want to jump in there? Alonso, Gary?
Yeah, I've been saying for a while that we need to take advantage of this time when a lot of teams might be struggling and looking to, maybe being okay letting their players go. I mean, I thought that we should have done that in the summer. Went a little, like Chelsea, and just buy up as much as you can, because it's probably for us. It's the only way we were going to be able to jump ahead. About kind of doing this sustained kind of growth and change that we have planned to do. So so that's kind of where. So I do believe I would like to see some players come in. I mean, I know there are players in our price range. There are players less than 20 million out there that can provide what we need. So I think we should do that. I'd rather take the hit now than wait for the summer and then have to spend more money. And that's what I feel is going to happen. There'll be some other, players out there, some teams out there that are going to want to get involved in this. And if we can get somebody off our, if we can get one of those those boxes checked.
Can we send one of our defenders to Liverpool, please?
One of our defenders to Liverpool.
Yeah.
They're not that dumb. They're not that dumb. They might take Gabriel, but
they need a short-term move to help them win the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alonso, what are you looking forward to as Socrates, a couple of players leaving? Who do you want to come in?
I think that the Isco is one of the players we're going to link to, and the guy from Norwich, the Argentinian.
Buendia, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't mind them, but I think, in my opinion, if we get rid of Socrates and Mustafi, I think that we have enough defensive cover to where we could last maybe this year. We had Chambers still, we have Luis, we have Murray, we have Holding, and also the kid from Brighton, who if Bellerin goes to Barcelona, I think he'll be
Okay.
Yeah, right. So I think he'll be a good pickup for us if we get him. But other than that, I think that it's up to the board and how much money they're willing to put down, and we'll see what happens. But I'd like to see some more attacking midfielders come in, maybe one. But I think Moses Rowe can do the job. It's just a matter of just put him in a position to succeed.
Got a tough question. I'll go to Anthony first. You can sign one of these two players. The Lumber Camp is. You got 20 million. You can sign one of these two players. Which one would you get?
I'd probably go Buendia, just for the creativity aspect of it. Like Basuma, he's a very good player. I think he definitely complements, a guy like Partey in the middle. I just think at the moment we've enough players that can almost do a sort of similar job. But I think we're definitely crying out for more of a Buendia style of player. So and again, if it's true that he's only going to cost about 14 million, yeah, in terms of transfer fees nowadays, 14 million is pretty risk free. So why not?
Yeah, and there's a lot of question marks as to whether Norwich would want to cash in on that money.
Yeah.
I think they should. You don't know what the market's going to be like in a few months from now. They could still get promotion without Buendia, and they might get cash.
He played against Cardiff 2 weeks ago, and he absolutely ripped Cardiff a new one. I tell you. Norwich would be absolutely crazy if they let him go, or if they let Max Aarons go. We're only talking 5-6 months now, and surely if they get promoted officially, these players are then Premier League players. The player would be able to command a better wage. Norwich would be able to command a better fee. I can't see that going. I tell you a little surprise that could happen, mind. All right. Ben Rama going to Arsenal.
He's already gone to West Ham.
I know he was linked. He was linked before he went to West Ham. He was linked to Arsenal, but because he failed a medical,
he's at West Ham.
Yeah, but he failed a medical, so it wasn't a permanent move. So they've done it on a loan until January, and then with a view to making it permanent in January. But the signing isn't the David Moyes signing. He wanted Josh King, whereas the owners basically put Ben Rama on him. And Ben Rama hasn't really been... David Moyes has thrown his toys out of the pram regarding it. Ben Rama hasn't really been starring. He's come off a bench 1 or 2 times. He played really well.
Probably because David Moyes doesn't fancy him that much.
So Ben Rama could possibly be on the market again in January. And I have no doubt Arsenal could be keeping an eye on that one.
Yeah,
I would prefer him. I would prefer him than that guy from...
I don't think West Ham are going to move a player on after having them 4 or 5 months, personally speaking, Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Sam, what's your Arteta New Year's resolution? You're Mikel Arteta, and you're making a New Year's resolution tonight or tomorrow.
Stop playing favourites. That's what I'm going to say to Arteta. Stop playing favourites and continue playing the players in form. Allow them to play more than 2 or 3 games before changing them. That's what I'm going to say.
That's a really good resolution. Gary, you're Mikel Arteta tonight or tomorrow night. You're going to sleep and you got to make a resolution on New Year's Day.
I guess I'll be pressing
a non-negotiable resolution.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he needs to be pressing that we need to get some of those youngsters in and get some of those old folks out. So a lot of the deadwood and all that needs to be kind of his high priority, I think. So, since I'm not going to jump on the same boat as Sam, because I believe that needs to happen. But I think otherwise, I think we need to, if Balogun is gone, then we screwed up, and we should fix that. We should fix it. He's still here. We still have time. He hasn't. Has he signed yet? I don't think so. Right. So, Until that happens, he's
January
still
1st
there.
again.
So they need to. I think they should have been working on that already, and they need to clean house, right? They need to clean house. Like Mustafi and Kolasinac should at least at this point for me is okay, but I think they need to push that a little bit more and maybe get 2 other players out that they don't feel like they can use them. I mean, we've got too many. We've got 2 people that we're not paying, and 2 going out what we know of right now. They need to put another 2 out, I think. So clean house and bring in
There's
some
a
of the
question for you all. Many of the Arsenal players have 6 months left on their contract. All right. If you're in charge of finances in Arsenal, do you pay up the contracts, which will give you space for players to come in January? So you pay them up for the final remaining 6 months, just to get them off, or do you leave it roll until the summer? Given the present position of the club, what would you do?
I would if the opportunity was there to come to some mutual agreement, partially to free up a space in the squad, partially to free up some finances. But I also think it's not really beneficial to keep these guys in and around the club who know that they're not wanted, know that they're not going to play. Like guys like Socrates and Ozil and all those guys, they're showing up, they're training every day in and around the squad, knowing that they're not registered to play. I can imagine it's going to take its toll on team morale, and it possibly has already come into play. Maybe that's why we've struggled at times. We've probably too many big influences in and around the training ground that maybe just shouldn't even be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Adam, your Arteta New Year's resolution?
To stop signing aging Brazilians. But then again, I want them to sign Diego Costa.
Yeah, there we go. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
That was mine.
Jesus Christ.
I gotta take this something new now.
You know what? What is your football with brownie? But tell me, what's in these brownies?
I wonder if Diego
They're
Costa's
edibles.
agent,
They're edibles. That's what they are.
I'm wondering whether it's the same agent, Diego Costa's agent, and it is with Willian and David Luiz.
I don't know. They're all shit. They're all old and crap.
Hey, the link is the Brazilian link, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony,
sorry to put a dampener on things.
It's all right. We're used to that with you. Don't worry.
Arteta's New Year's resolution, Anthony, and the 3 boys are taking the prime ones for us away from us.
Yeah, just quickly on Diego, just a quick Google there. Apparently, it's George Mendes who's his agent, so at least we're stepping away from Kia slightly.
Okay. Hey, this guy's on the ball. This guy is on the ball. I better watch what I say from now on.
It's all the monster. Yeah, look, just purely just to say something different. I'd like to just see.
Doggy Brownie Costa. That's good, Mark. That's good.
Maybe get to leave it a shot. Just because we've seen what a bit of rejuvenation the squad has had by introducing a couple of young players. We know that there's going to be a couple of spots available, a couple of centre backs are going to go. Why not? Like, what have you got to lose? Surely he can't be any worse than some of the guys that are already there. And if you do see this guy fitting into the team in the long term, this is probably the transitional season to give him a shot. You know what I mean? Just try him out.
Yeah, and Alonso?
I think that with Gary said, I think that Arteta has to play his younger players more, especially Balogun, because we're going to lose them. And we've seen what he could do in the Europa League, so we're going to give him a chance. So I think that if he does sign elsewhere, it'll be our biggest regret we've had in a long time. So I think we should do that. And also, I think his biggest regret and should be realization is play his best 11. I think that Arteta struggles with not finding what players fit in the right positions, and it's something he has to work on to become a better coach. Not only that, but also trust his players who are in form and just leave it like that. Don't bring in guys like Willian, like Luis, like players who don't perform when we need them to, you know. So I think that he needs to work on that to have confidence in himself as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and we've all hit it in some way, shape, or form, don't bring in mature players, especially from Chelsea, that want to finish their career in football with Arsenal on high wages and a high signing on fee. So don't do that. Invest in the young youth that we have, the academy players. We have a lot of great players that are coming through the academy. They're all of the age of 20, 21, 22, 19. 2 or 3 years from now, we could have a very dynamic team if they're managed correctly, if they're brought through and developed properly. We could have a great team going forward. But yeah, that's it. Any further comments, Dan? We're going to talk about Arsenal, what happened the last few games, West Brom real quickly, and then we're going to get into what's going on in the Premier League, and then we're going to do Premier League predictions. So we'll go for about another 40 minutes here, and that is not an understated time, Gary. I'll hold it. Tony's here, probably hold us to it.
Lads.
Take a bathroom break if you need to, or a
Quick
monster
nap.
break. Any other comments on the Brighton game, Gary, that you noticed? It's just great to get a win, 1-0 to the Arsenal again, as May here started off the podcast singing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I was a little surprised that we did take a little step back from the previous game, but I think that was expected to happen with the youngsters up there and introducing Aubameyang to it. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things in the game that I think we can build on. So we have to play a lot better in the next one, regardless of who plays. They gave up 5 goals to Leeds, and we need to do better than that. I think I'm missing something in the private chat here. Everybody's being said for me.
What is eggnog? What is it?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know, Brownie. You do not want to know.
Well, we'll tell you after, Brownie. Don't worry.
Oh, right, okay. Because the only time I remember eggnog is on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where they try to.
That's that I just remember, Brownie.
All right, okay.
That's where he's having a bad day and he drinks like 2 cups of eggnog and he puts it back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we
Yeah, that's right.
Uncle Eddie.
That's what our did at halftime at Brighton. 2 cups of eggnog and okay. Tear into them. Let's tear into them. All right, listen. 2 wins to build on. The Chelsea one was a big surprise. So nobody expected Arsenal to go out and beat Chelsea. We're seeing hopeful signs that Arteta. Alonso, I said something 5 minutes ago. Arteta needs to pick his best 11. I'm wondering, after a year in charge, does he actually know his best 11? And if he doesn't, that's kind of pretty sad, Gary.
Yeah, I mean that's a good comment. I mean, he doesn't know it. No, I don't think anybody knows what his 11 looks like. I mean, I mean, it doesn't even, and that's even with taking out the injuries. Just find your best 11 and play with them. I don't think he knows that. And then you bring in a Partey that replaces one of them. You know, you bring in Martinelli and Emil Smith-Rowe come in, right? That knocks so that should make things a little bit better. I mean, does Lacazette or Aubameyang play now? We don't know that, right? The midfield is still a mess, right? Until Partey comes back.
Yeah.
Gabriel comes back in. Gabriel, like for me, I'd rather play Gabriel and Marie in the middle, regardless of who. I don't care about their feet. I just feel like they could play better than what we have.
Yeah.
I mean,
because somebody's going to say they're 2 left-footed players.
Yeah,
right?
but
that means nothing. That's so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's as bad as we think it is. I mean.
Arteta is pretty bad at that.
These are bet. The one thing that I like and I saw is that why is Ainsley not playing?
Yeah.
Did you see Saka? You put him on the left, he does good. You put him on the right, he does good. In the last game, he had to play. He played right back at one point in the game. Maitland can do exactly the same thing, right? Maitland-Niles can do the exact same thing. You put him anywhere on the field, he's not going to give you as many. He's not going to give you a lot of negatives. He's going to give you mostly positives in his play.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be out there because he's versatile, and you can the way that he likes to switch things around from offense to defense when with ball and without the ball, that fits in perfectly with those types of players because you can move them around, and like we saw it in the last game. At some point, Aubameyang and Martinelli kind of were switching positions. We didn't lose anything, right? That's what he likes, his versatility, and he's got players that do it. And he doesn't play them, right? I mean,
Maitland-Niles, I'd love to see him come in as a box-to-box midfielder, and instead of El Neni, you have Partey, and then you have Maitland-Niles as box-to-box, and Smith Rowe there in the attacking role. I think those three could work really well together in midfield. To be honest,
I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's shown the door in January. Wolves coming for him. It's publicly known Wolves coming for him in the summer, which was blocked for whatever reason. He hasn't started since. If I think that if they come back in for him in January, I think he'd be gone.
Supposedly Atletico Madrid want them, so maybe a swap deal with Diego Costa.
Yeah. Oh no, he's a free agent. He's a free agent, Diego Costa. Well, when is Torreira back then? I thought they ripped up the contract, didn't they, Atleti, or not?
Yeah, but I did see Atleti are supposed to be looking at him because isn't Kieran Trippier gonna miss a while? Something with gambling or something?
Yeah.
Some bets. So he's out for a while.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's out for 10 games or something like that while they're investigating.
Well, hey, it took me 3. He's a lucky getter. It took me 3 years to get a gambling account over here. Jesus.
All right. So that's Arsenal. Let's hope that the really big thing is that we've got a few league games that we can bounce up that league really quickly if we can. Because we get out of January, we're going to get into cup competitions, and the league games become more and more distanced. So I'd like to make those moves into the top half of the table right now. If we can beat West Brom away from home, which is doable, I think we're going to win 2-0 against West Brom. No more than 2 goals, I believe. Crystal Palace, as Alonso said, it's going to be a tricky game. Zaha always makes it difficult for us, and he's running into some form now. And we've seen what Newcastle have done today, so that's a perfect segue to have a little conversation about the Premier League. And what's going on at the top of the league, Sam? Who wants to win the league?
Well, it looks like it's very. I mean, all the teams are dropping points, right? You see Liverpool dropping points. You see Manchester City, they drop points. Chelsea have really fought. I mean, Chelsea, who were looking like decent contenders at the start of the season, they've completely fallen away now. They've lost 2 of their last 3. They drew. I mean, they lost against us. They drew their last game. Was it against Villa? They're not looking. They're not looking like they're gelling. Lampard's got the Arteta syndrome of playing players who shouldn't be playing. Like Mason Mount and what's his face, that Jorginho and stuff, who shouldn't be playing. And he's playing Timo Werner on the wing. Who shouldn't be out on the wing. He's a central striker, so he's not doing himself any favors. Is Lampard? So they're not looking great at the moment. They're not gelling. Liverpool are looking, I think, the strongest, but even they're dropping points. Like I said, Manchester United are on a good run now. They're looking quite strong, but then you just know with Ole at the wheel, it's going to fall apart at some time. They're just going to start dropping points again. They're just going to start messing up, and it's just a matter of time. So I think that's good for us because what it means is we can get into. I think if we can get some results together, we can get into the top half of the season. I think we'll finally get into the top half. I don't think we'll get far up the table beyond the top half, but I think we'll at least be in the top half because the teams at the top are just dropping points. And it's really hard to predict at the moment who's going to win the league for me. I mean, at the moment, I really can't predict a clear. I mean, Liverpool were looking good, but then they just all of a sudden they have these brain farts, and the same goes for City. The same goes for Chelsea. The same goes for the other. Everton are definitely not stable enough. They lose too many games. It's just Tottenham. Even Tottenham, they were looking good, right? Remember, they were title contenders like 4 games ago, and then they went and lost. Was it 2 or 3 games in a row? So it's a real weird. It's good for the casual, neutral observer. It's great. It's all teams are beatable, and all teams are. It doesn't look like there's one team.
Sam, the neutral here.
Yeah, for the neutral, it must be great because every game, you see now West Brom play Liverpool, right? You don't really know how that game's going to go. It's that's what it's like at the moment. There really is no clear, absolute dominant team at the moment. Even though Liverpool should, I think, if I was a betting man, I've said this before on this channel, haven't I? If I was a betting man, I would probably say Liverpool just because they have those weapons up front and Klopp is a very, very good manager. So I would say they might nick it, but I don't think they're going to run. No one's running away with it. Let's put it this way. There's not going to be a 10-point margin this season. No way. Probably not even a 5-point margin. We might see another. There could be, for me, potentially, there could be 3 teams, maybe 3 teams on the last day that could win the league. And how fantastic would that be for the for the neutral?
That would be great. We just don't know who we'd want to win it. Lumber Camp said if we had Ancelotti as manager, we would be title contenders this season. So we'll play a little game here. It's called Higher or Lower, and I'm going to go from the bottom of the league and ask each of you: are we better than this team? So, Sam. Is Arsenal better than Sheffield United?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Gary, is Arsenal better than West Brom?
Yes.
Anthony, is Arsenal better than Fulham?
Yeah.
Okay. We're up to 17th place. Alonso, are we better than Brighton? Are we better than Brighton, Alonso?
Yeah.
Adam, are we better than Burnley?
Yeah.
All right. Sam, are we better than Crystal Palace?
Yes.
Wow, okay. We're pushing up the table, Gary. Are we better than Newcastle?
Yes.
Anthony, are we better than Wolves?
On our day, yeah.
That's the first hesitation right there. Wolves are in 12th place. Alonso, are we better than Leeds?
Yeah.
Adam, are we better than West Ham?
The same.
Oh, the same. Okay, sit on the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, are we better than Southampton?
Yeah, I would say we are. We are really we are. Should be. Yeah.
Okay. Gary, are we better than City?
I'm at the point where I think this is where Sam said this is basically our ceiling right now.
Yeah.
Because the other teams, are they going to give up that many points for us to actually catch them?
No, just realistically speaking, are we better than Manchester City?
Are we better than Manchester City? No.
We're not better than Manchester City. Okay.
No, I agree.
Anthony, I'm sorry, Anthony, had to fall on you. Are we better than Tottenham?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. No brainer.
You know what? That's like the 13th floor in an elevator. You just don't put that in there because it's it's just bad luck. So you know what? You should mix that and ask the next one because it should be part of the discussion.
Honestly though, I'm trying it to be as unbiased as possible.
Objective, yeah.
Comparing the two sides on paper. Honestly, I think that outside of Kane and Son, Spurs are very average side. Like they really don't offer an awful lot. Defensively, they're good, But if you took those two players out of that team, they're not scoring any goals, and they're not going to be as high up the table as they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see us play with Partey healthy, Martinelli, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Saka playing the way they've been doing, and then let's see how we play. I know maybe we still lose, but we're not going to get blown out like we did 2-0. I mean, I don't think that'll happen, but it'd be nice to see that.
Right, with everything that everyone said, we're probably going to finish around 9th place. It sounds about right.
I think that makes a lot of sense when you look at our season as a whole, really. Because I think we're going to have a season now. I think for me, we're going to have a season of 2. If we're lucky, again, this is based on if we're lucky now when Arteta is actually changing things and looking at bringing in the younger players, playing them more, using Martinelli, Smith-Rowe, Saka more in this role that they are. And we get a bit more out of Gabriel now, when we get Partey back from injury, we get him back. I mean, if those things start to go together, I think we might be lucky and see the second half of our season greatly improve compared to the first half. And that's what I'm saying. With a very decent second half of the season, we should be able to finish about 9th or something like that. I'm hoping 9th or maybe 8th.
Just going to throw it out to everybody. Do you think if we finish outside of Europe and that would be a good thing? We don't get European football for a season.
I don't think that's a good thing, to be honest. No, because we need it. We don't just need it for the money, but we need it for the, if you want to be a top club, you've got to be in Europe. That's just the way it is. You can't be a top club and not have any European competition. I'm sorry, you just can't. And those extra games is what top clubs thrive for. That's what you need to have, those extra games. That shows that you're a top level club.
Yeah. Okay. One other thing, housekeeping from the Brighton game. Gary, you're man of the match. You're Don Juan, man of the match, Gary.
Yeah.
From the Brighton game.
So from the Brighton game, I guess the more I look at it, I mean, I think it's easy. I guess I'll take the easy one. I feel Emil Smith-Rowe basically was man of the match. I mean, he was consistent, and I mean, he did in this game what Martinelli did in the first game when he came back, where he basically was all over the place and tracking back when he would lose the ball and getting it back and just doing everything that we've seen from Martinelli. I think he did that in this game. He got he didn't a lot of his potential scoring attempt chances didn't fall through, but I think he's shown that that's what we're missing, and that's what we need. We need it. I mean, I feel like we need another one of him. Either somebody to push him along or somebody to show him the way.
Isco.
Yeah.
Isco can go to Everton.
Yeah, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, whatever you do.
I'm not impressed with Isco. And that's another guy. I'm not impressed with him.
No. Quickly, I'm going to say I think Bukayo Saka was man of the match. Anthony, Sam, Alonso.
Yeah.
Just between him and Smith-Rowe for me. I think I agree with Gary that Smith-Rowe had a very good game. It's hard to tell between Smith-Rowe and Saka for me. So I could give
Saka's first half did not compare to his second half. I mean, he was so much better in the second half. And like I said, the difference in the second half was he was able to hold up the ball, and he made that one play, and he was pretty good at, but he in that first half it wasn't a little bit. It was totally different. Whereas I saw a lot of stuff good from Emil Smith-Rowe. So for consistency's sake, I think it was Emil Smith-Rowe. Saka made the play when he had to, when we needed it, and like I said, finished it up. But that's kind of what I saw when I looked at it a second time.
Alonso, what was your pick, Alonso?
I think it was Emil Smith-Rowe. I mean, because the way he drives, right, the way he moves the ball around, the way he's like De Bruyne in a way, like a young De Bruyne, and it makes you so happy to see that, because we've been lacking that since Ozil's better days, and I think that we needed a guy who wants to take control of the game like that. And my question is, like, why hasn't Arteta started him right before until recently? So that's just frustrating about Arteta. Like,
I'm hoping it's because of the health. I'm hoping it's because of the health and nothing else.
Okay, we're going to get into the Premier League preview. And I'll start with Adam because it's an Everton fixture. I don't know if Anthony or Adam or if any of you have picked out your upsets.
Are we going to get any scores on those soon?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to put the scores in while we're going through this.
Gary says, nah, we don't need to do that. This is all for fun.
So for Anthony and Adam, we're doing a kind of an upset choice. And you get to pick an upset. It has to be a bottom of the table. 11 to 20 versus the first top of the table. And
Okay.
you have yours? Okay. Adam, you don't have to participate if you don't want to. But you can, of course.
No. I'll participate, but I
Being
don't
the
know.
non-Arsenal guest panelist here. But we're going to, when we get to it, just let me know if it's your upset as we go around. We're going to preview each game.
Okay.
So let's start with you, Adam. Everton, West Ham. How do you think that's going to fare?
Is it at Goodison, is it?
Yes. Everton in fourth place.
Liverpool are going back into tier 3, so it won't be no fans at Goodison. So I predict a draw.
Draw. Okay. I think Everton won that game, personally speaking. We can go around Sam real quick.
What, United Villa for me, is it?
No, we'll linger on Everton.
Okay.
Just give me your quick.
Yeah, I think Everton should be. They should have enough to beat West Ham, but it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be like a 2-goal victory.
Gary?
Yeah, I have Everton winning that one. I mean, it would be 5 games in a row, but I still feel like they have enough to win that.
Anthony?
Yeah, Everton at home. Yeah, I fancy them against West Ham.
And Alonso?
I think it'll be a 2-1 to the Toffees.
Yeah, we all have Everton there for a win. Sorry, Charlie, about that. Our West Ham friend.
And you still know about remember our bet now, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't forgotten these things. So
we know what Brownie's like with bets.
Adam has said that Everton will finish above Arsenal this season. I've got a whole half season to go, 22 games yet. So
if Everton get Isco, Everton are going to have Champions League spot.
Okay.
That's my.
Here we go. Well, now we know that's definitely not going to happen then, because Brownie said it.
Well, on your YouTube video, people check out Football with Brownie. On his video, he said that he could go to Sevilla as well. So maybe it's
Yeah. No. It is by
possibility, right?
Hey Adam, so if we get Costa right, I'll try to finish top 4, right?
Sam, start us off with Man United, Aston Villa.
Yeah, so Villa are a sneaky team. They have good games, and they're not an easy team to beat. I think they're going to give Man United and Solskjaer a test. I don't think Man United are going to have an easy game here. I think I can see a draw in this one, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that they are. United have an opportunity to go level with Liverpool now.
And they're going to bottle it. They're going to bottle it.
They're going to bottle it. They have a game in hand, and they're going to bottle it. Now, United are a little bit ahead of us, and I think we have a United fan in here. So, but I think it's going to be a draw with Villa. Gary?
Yeah, I too feel like it's going to be a draw. So yeah, I mean it's not. Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw. I don't think. I don't think
Villa don't have enough to win, and United don't have enough to win.
Yeah, I think Villa may be ahead, but then I feel like, like anything else, Man United will be able to find a way to get a goal, the goal that they need.
Anthony?
Yeah, I think a draw. I don't really see where Villa score, but at the same time, like Aston Villa have the best goalkeeper in Europe, so United won't score either.
Mm-hmm.
So, draw.
Yep. Alonso?
I think that it'd be this is my upset special.
Okay. That's your upset?
I think it'd be 2-1 to Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, okay.
I think the score line is more the upset
Yeah,
than the
2-1 to
loss,
Aston Villa.
right?
That's a brave one to go for. And Adam, Man United, Villa.
Is it at Old Trafford? Is it?
Yes. Does it really matter?
You can't.
There's no crowds there.
1-0 United. 1-0
1-0
United.
United.
They get a late goal again, more likely.
All right. Gary, I'll go to you next. Spurs versus Leeds.
Yeah, this is my upset pick here. I'm feeling like they won't get 5 goals, but they might be able to surprise them. So that's gonna be my upset pick. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't choose the other side even if I want to.
No. Yeah, Spurs at home will be a little bit difficult. Anthony?
Yeah, it's a hard one.
Mourinho's going to want to win that game at all costs.
Yeah, look, I don't want to have to back them, but yeah, no, I think Spurs probably nick it because they're like I said, they got Kane and Son playing. Leeds give up an awful lot of chances. I know Leeds are just all out attack, but Spurs are quite well set up defensively. So yeah, I fancy Spurs just to have enough.
Adam?
Yeah, I know Leeds beat West Brom 5-0 the other day, but that's more of West Brom being absolutely atrocious. I watched West Ham absolutely burn Leeds, a new one, a few weeks ago, and Tottenham will do the same.
Alonso? Gary, Adam said that Tottenham will win.
I
Hesitating.
I think it'll be
Draw. Might have froze there. Sam?
Leeds are a funny team, aren't they? I mean, they'll win one game 5-0,
I think
lose the
Tottenham will
next 5-0. I mean, they're crazy, aren't they? They're like Kevin Keegan's Newcastle, aren't they, back in 1994? No, I mean, they're not going to make it easy for Tottenham because Leeds never do. They're a high-pressing team, high-energy team. They're not going to make it easy for Spurs, but I just can't see them. I just can't see them beating Spurs, to be honest. Maybe a draw, but I'm thinking a Spurs win.
Yeah, I think Jose Mourinho is going to park the bus at home, and he's going to do everything possible to get a win against Leeds. Gary, Palace versus Sheffield United.
Yeah, I got this one as a. I got this
14
one
versus 20.
Yeah. Oof. Crystal Palace will win this one. I mean, you know what? I had to see.
Yeah, Sheffield United can't win a game to save their lives.
Yeah, they
Where
can't.
is it at Crystal Palace? Is it?
Yeah, the first one out usually is the home team.
Oh, I thought you put a little dig in there, man. It is 4:30 in the morning, you know.
All right. I'll feel sorry for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Palace
get
are at home.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United will lose this one again. So
they're done, right?
Yep.
Anthony?
Yeah, Palace, Zaha and that coming into
Zaha will get warmed up for us.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. A nice little run in just to get them ready for Arsenal. Yeah. Like that Sheffield United can't buy a win this season. So, yeah, Palace.
And Adam?
I fancy a draw. I do. Roy Hodgson is 4-1 to be the next manager gone, and I think that I think the pressure is starting to pile up on him now. Regarding Sheffield United, I actually put money on when they went down to 10 men away to Brighton, and they went 1-0 up in 2 minutes left, and Brighton had a late equaliser. I think no, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to go for a Sheffield United away win. My first win of the season.
There you go.
Diego Costa hat trick.
Put a euro on that. Put a pound on it. Probably be 50-1, something like that. You know.
No, it'd
Right.
probably be about 3-1, maybe 4-1. Palace's form is terrible. Palace's form at the moment is terrible. Since they had that defeat with Liverpool, it's gone downhill.
They have a decent player who came out of Arsenal. Eze. He's pretty decent as well. Decent winger.
Yeah, and they got Cardiff reject code Wilfred Zaha, so don't worry about that. We got rid of him.
I think Alonso's frozen there. Alonso, you there? Palace versus Sheffield United.
No, he's gone.
Okay, Anthony, Brighton are at home to Wolves. Brighton are at home.
Yeah, look, Brighton, they looked okay against us.
They're going to probably have those players back that sat on the bench against us.
I think Wolves probably on paper better squad if they can get them playing. I think probably be a draw. I think Wolves are good enough to beat them, but Brighton fairly scrappy. I think that probably a 1-1 draw.
Yep. Adam?
Wolves are really patchy this year. But I'll go for a home win, actually.
For Brighton, their first.
Since Jimenez been injured, have they won since he's been injured? I don't think they have.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, no, they got that draw with Tottenham with Harry Kane diving all over the place.
And then last night, we lost to Man United. I'll go for it. Brighton home win.
Okay. That's going to be your upset, maybe?
Yeah. Why not?
Good one. Yeah. Sam? Brighton Wolves.
I can see that being a draw, to be honest.
And did I get to Gary? Nope.
No, I have that one as a draw. I mean, I feel like it's home for Brighton. Wolves barely can't score. Draw.
All right. The next one we've talked about West Brom versus Arsenal. Alonso. Brighton at home to Wolves.
Okay, so I had Tottenham winning, I had Palace winning, and I had Wolves winning. Sorry, guys.
You're talking to someone with Spanish internet, my friend. No problem for me.
You want to give us your next 3 predictions just in case?
No, it's just.
Just joking. Maybe not. Alonso, West Brom versus Arsenal. I think we've all talked about it. We all believe we're going to win, right? Yeah, I believe we're going to win 2-0.
Yeah, I think we'll win.
More than 2?
Yeah.
No, I don't think we'll get more than 2 goals just because we can't. It's just not going to be that type of game. I mean, West Brom are going to be sitting deep. They're going to be really, really defensive, and we struggle. We struggle breaking those teams down, right? That's what we do. So I think we'll have enough in us to break them down, but it's not going to be like 3 or 4-0 or something like that. That's just not us.
Yeah. Let's jump to Sunday, Gary. Burnley at home to Fulham. It's a really good game there. You want to get up early for that one on Sunday.
Oh, jeez.
I know about the early
7 a.m. here.
Yeah. What a shithole of an area as well. Yeah. Would you, if you're allowed back in ground, would you want to go to Burnley on a Sunday morning? Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you.
It's kind of a dead game, Burnley versus Fulham, but you kind of maybe want Fulham to win that game, right?
Yeah, Fulham winning that one. So yeah.
Because of Sean Dyche. Such a wonderful man he is.
Yeah.
Anthony?
Yeah, I'm gonna go full on maybe just like scrape a 1-0 win.
They're showing a little bit of fight. Alonso?
They are, yeah.
Yeah. So
Burnley, Fulham?
West Brom winning 3-2. Arsenal winning 3-0.
Yeah. God, I thought I heard you say West Brom winning there for a second.
Yeah, I did, but
Upset.
And Burnley versus Fulham. Not a great game.
Who, me?
No, Alonso, well, I can.
so what are you gonna
Burnley versus Fulham.
Wow. I think this is Fulham, so I go for Fulham. I think it'll be a close. I think they'll win 1-0 for Fulham.
1-0. Okay. I'm going to skip. It's not a great game, Adam, so I'll just skip to Newcastle,
Yeah.
Leicester. I'm going to select Newcastle as my shock, my upset game here. Newcastle to upset Leicester. I'll take that one. After Newcastle's draw tonight against Liverpool, they're probably coming into form. And Leicester, like many teams, Leicester just have a couple of players that can hurt you. I could be wrong there, but Sam?
Yeah, I've got the same. I've got Newcastle as the upset to win. I just think Leicester are a bit up and down. Newcastle look like they're playing quite well at the moment. So, yeah, that's my upset.
I'm just going to freeze it here on 153. This is the moment Gary thinks he might have picked the wrong one.
No. This time I didn't have it. I didn't have it set as no. I have Leicester City winning this one. I think it's it's going to be a wash, but I think Vardy will be the better man on the field.
Yeah. Okay. Anthony and Gary, you can see the scores at the bottom there. You got some ground to make up.
I don't even know what now. You know what? Take my name off that list. Tony hasn't even been here. He probably hasn't even played any.
Tony's points came from predicting an upset for Leeds against Arsenal, which I didn't want to make that admissible, but it was. Anthony, Newcastle versus Leicester.
Yeah, that was going to be my upset pick as well.
All right.
I just think Newcastle at home, winter time, nobody likes going up there this time of year. Always tough. So I go Newcastle.
You could get yourself on the scoreboard down here past the weekend, see what happens. Adam?
Yeah, I'm going for a Leicester win. Now, I watched them against Palace the other night, and completely Brendan Rodgers completely misjudged. He thought he could get a win there with a weakened team. So Vardy was on the bench as well. He come on late in the second half, and I think that it's going to go all out for 3 points against Newcastle.
Yeah, I would say, but they're getting Newcastle. Got it. Steve Bruce got a tune out of him. Alonso, Newcastle, Leicester.
I think it'll be I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. So yeah,
1-1 draw. Okay. And since I have you start us off with probably the big game of the weekend, Chelsea versus City.
I think given Chelsea's defensive problems and that part's lineup issues, I think I go with City. I think it'd be a 3-1 victory for the City.
You think City are going to win that one?
Yeah.
I actually think Lampard's in a tough position now. Playing at home to City, he's under pressure. I think that Chelsea will get the win there against Manchester City. Sam?
It's a difficult game because there's pros and cons on both sides. City are very erratic, aren't they? They're up and down.
Yep.
Chelsea have been struggling lately. Lampard is not really doing the right things. Then all of a sudden they'll have a great game. To be honest, I can't see Chelsea winning this game, to be honest, because I don't think Lampard is going to do the right things. I think City, it'll either be a draw or a City win. I'm going for a draw.
Yeah, and City have 2 games in hand as well on Chelsea. So
Yeah.
Chelsea really need to win that game if they're going to be talking about challenging for the league this year. Gary?
No, I think I have Man City winning this one. I kind of feel like De Bruyne is going to,
Turn it on.
shake off the rust, and Chelsea will allow him to do that. So,
all right, Chelsea fans are not happy right now. If they drop another game, it's not going to be good for Frank Lampard, and he might not make it to the end of the season if that continues. Anthony?
I'm going to go with Lampard to have an Arteta moment and
That good or bad?
pull off an unexpected victory against a side they're probably not supposed to beat. So I'm going to go with Chelsea.
Unexpected victory. Nice. Adam?
I'm going to go for Man City victory because of the underhanded tactics of calling the game off against Everton, giving them more days to rest.
I never understand this resting thing because all the teams start the league. They start their fixtures at the same time, and they finish their fixtures at the same time. You have to play most of the same amount of games throughout the season, other than competitions.
Yeah, but it's at the most busiest period of the season, and lo and behold, a squad of 25 can't field 11 players and a few substitutes.
Yeah,
it's a joke.
It's not always an advantage as well to rest. Liverpool had rested there for over a week, and they didn't get the result they needed today.
It'll go in Man City's favour. I have said for a few weeks now that Lampard would be sacked before Arteta, and it does look as if that's coming to fruition.
Yeah, you at least get some of your predictions right. You won't get
sometimes it's just that the ones I get right, I don't put money on. That's the problem.
Alonso, Chelsea versus City.
I just told you that.
Okay. I lose track. Let's start out with the last one then. Southampton at home to Liverpool. This is a real interesting game. Southampton are a decent team at home. Liverpool are struggling now. They're not able to score goals. Too many, at least. So that's an interesting one for Liverpool, who will be under pressure. Was in a few fixtures they're going to be playing Manchester United at Anfield. Alonso, Southampton versus Liverpool.
So I think it'd be a tough game. As you know, Southampton beat Arsenal. So I think that with their speed and their cohesiveness, the way they play together is pretty cool. I think that they were an upstart team this year. And I think they've been doing pretty well this year. So I think they give Liverpool a handful. I want to say a draw, but I think that Southampton could win this game. So I think they'll win maybe with 3-2.
Yep, Sam. Last game, Southampton versus Liverpool on Monday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Liverpool. Southampton are a good unit with a good manager. They're tough to beat. On the other hand, Liverpool, they're still a quality side. So for me, I can see another draw coming there. To be honest, I mean, I know Liverpool have drawn a lot of games already this season, but there's a reason for it. They don't have the firepower at the moment to win them games, do they?
No, they don't. They've got injuries. They might actually have a central defender by Monday. Gary?
Yeah, I have Liverpool winning this one. I feel like the last game was they had opportunities to get a goal in there, and they weren't able to do that multiple times. So I have a feeling that I know it's on the road, but I feel like they, between Sané, Mane, and Firmino, I think they should be able to get something out of that game. So I'm going to go with Liverpool, even though it is on the road. But I think they've been, they're solid at, their defensive structure has been sound, right? They're not giving up much opportunities there. So I feel like, the thing that, if you listen to some of the Liverpool fans, they're just concerned that they just can't score.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their concern right now. And this last two games, they've drawn, and I think, they're not gonna have their bad games or draws right now. So I would like to be in their shoes.
And they can't be just 13 points above us, so they have to be a little bit more, I'd say. It's not real.
We're not competing with them, so that's it's not even worth our time, I think.
Anthony, law of averages, maybe Liverpool go up there and get a win down there, Southampton.
I'm gonna go with a draw, just because like that Liverpool, it's kind of like the old school Liverpool. They put it up to the bigger sides, and maybe the sides they're expected to beat is where they're dropping points. And I just kind of fancy if Danny Ings is fit and available, might want to put one over his old side. So I think they might get a draw.
He'll be motivated. Adam?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a draw as well.
All these draws.
I wasn't impressed with Southampton at all last night, to be honest with you. I think they, although they had a promising start to the season, I think we're going to go back to the normal levels. And with Liverpool struggling to score at the moment, I can see it being another 0-0 at St Mary's.
Final word to Alonso for the Premier League upset show. You can see that Sam is out in the lead at 7.5 points. Alonso, Darren, myself on 5. Tony and Gary bring up the rear on 2 points. Alonso, Southampton, and Liverpool.
Yeah, like I said before, earlier, a 3-2, I think, win for Southampton. I think it'd be a close game.
You did say that, did you? Will I come round again?
No. I mean, I think Southampton can score an upset winner at the very end of the game. So Liverpool aren't Liverpool last year, so I think that Southampton will give them a run of their money. They give them a run for
run for their money. Listen, shout out to Adam, Anthony, and Sam in particular. Middle of the morning there. 3:40, 4:40, whatever. It's crazy hours, but great to have all of you here again for the last podcast of the year.
Good job, I'm single, I tell you.
got nothing else to do, so might as well.
Well, you're building up your stamina, so you're still going to be awake in the middle of the night whenever you're not single.
Yeah. You see, there is a silver lining there.
I know. But we have a curfew here, so unfortunately, it's
Adam,
going to happen.
You want to go again?
No. I'm struggling.
Just one time. You're not 2 times a night. 1 time a night.
Yeah. half a time now these days. Half a time now. 0.5.
He needs a little bit more practice, Sam. Actually, it's not fair of me to take advantage of a man who's very tired like that.
No. To be honest, I'm normally, Sam will vouch for me here. I'm normally up at this is normally my working time, but because of the holidays, my body clock's just gone back to normal living.
Normal mode.
Yeah. Never mind. I'm enjoying it.
Listen, it was a fun one. Anthony, thanks for joining the crazy hours.
Yeah, no problem.
First time. It's in your contract, right, Gary?
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, a Williams style contract. Yeah.
Even the way we playing, maybe it's in his contract.
Not really. Not really a contract. Anyway, listen. And to anyone who is still watching, want to wish you a happy New Year, and of course to the 5 of you here, happy New Year. Hopefully, Arsenal can go on to bigger and better things next year.
And Cardiff.
Sure, I'm Cardiff. Sam, have you told them this is not a Cardiff podcast?
I tried, but
Wait, hold on. It's not.
After last night's result, I'm glad we're not talking Cardiff.
Yeah, as the urban ghost here who's with us still, long life, normal living. So that's one thing. one thing to look forward to, and I'm going to close it out here, Gary. I usually take too long.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess just give everybody get a farewell. I'd like to say thanks for all the fans. Thanks everybody in the chat room. Yeah, happy New Year. Have a good time tomorrow evening, right?
Yeah,
It's
a morning. It's an evening.
Yeah,
it's a different time zone right now. But
yeah.
On the 31st, have a great New Year's. Hopefully, 2021 is better.
Yeah.
It has to be.
It has to be. Yeah.
Last year. Thoughts and prayers go to everyone out there who's lost someone in the last year, and hopefully you can get through it. And that's it. Other good news: Tony will be getting released from the hospital in a week's time. So that's good news as well. Hopefully we'll have him back here at some point in time. But happy New Year, everyone! Happy New Year, everyone! Let's get that win on Saturday against Big Sam Allardyce, and come on, you Gunners, up the Arsenal.